Welcome to another RSR. Tonight we're reviewing Toronto FC 2, CF Montreal 2, 2-3 on penalties in the Canadian Championship 2025 preliminary round. Toronto FC loses to CF Montreal, and Montreal moves on. They'll play Forge or Halifax in the next round, which if they play Forge, I'll cover that, because why not? If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. Toronto's eliminated. They lose on penalties. They lose to Montreal again 2 times in the past 3 years in the preliminary round at home, this time on penalties, and heads should roll. Simple. Heads should roll. I don't care. If it happened last time, it should happen now. Heads should roll. Roll, I tell you. Off, out. Jason, gone. Robin Fraser, gone. Simple. This team is going nowhere. April 30th and the season is over. As of now, if nothing changes, the season is over. 1 win. 11 games. Couldn't even beat a Montreal side who were worse than us on the table. And they had their moments, Toronto, but Montreal pushed. They let them push for way too long. They tied it up. Toronto took the lead back quickly. Montreal had a lucky one, but Vrioni had a banger. And then we go to pens. So, with that being said, 29th minute, Theo Corbianu scores. Takes the shot. Deflects, but it just bounds in, curls in, chips into the net. I think it took a deflection. Theo Corbianu scores 1-0. Halftime, it is 1-0. 70th minute, Montreal was pushing for the whole half. This was bound to happen. Ball crossed in by Petrasso, lands with Waterman. He curls it in, 1-1. 4 minutes later, Tyrese Spicer makes an amazing run. Corbianu with the cross. Spicer pops it in past Sawa. Just past him, 2-1. 88th minute, Giacomo Vrioni. Ball gets played over to him. It's in the air. He volleys it. Half volleys it, sort of scorpions it, not exactly a Pele kick. Bangs it in over the head of Gavrin, 2-2. Full time, it's 2-2, and we go to penalties. Tyrese Spicer takes first, takes a shot. Sawa goes the right way, saves it. Joel Waterman bangs his penalty home, 0-1 on penalties. Kobe Franklin takes a shot. Sawa gets a hand to it, but it goes off the post and in, 1-1. Dante Seeley goes high, scores. 1-2. Alonzo Coelho banks his home, 2-2. Dominic Yankov scores, 2-3 on penalties. Theo Corbianu runs up, long run up, slips on his ass, puts it over the bar. Still, 2-3. My bad, 2-3 on penalties. Tom Pierce puts it over the bar. Still 2-3 on penalties. Ulla Brynhildsen to keep Toronto alive. Takes the shot. Horrible penalty. Saved by Sawa. 2-3 on penalties. Montreal will advance. Toronto are out. And my God, how depressing that was. That's honestly worse than losing outright. I mean, seriously. I'd rather lose outright. I'd rather be outplayed. I'd rather be stomped. Toronto, again, loses a penalty shootout because, of course, they do. And the salt in the wound of tonight is Miami are out of the Champions Cup. Vancouver are in the final. Oh, God. Vancouver might actually win the Champions Cup. They're in the final on June 1st. Playing a Mexican team, Tigres or Cruz Azul. We'll find that out tomorrow. Oh, my God, I'm not looking forward to it at all. I'm not looking forward to it at all. Simple. I'm not. This team sucks. And Vancouver might just be the first Canadian team to win the Champions Cup. We might get beat to the punch again. And this time, we didn't really expect it. Seattle? Okay, that makes sense. Vancouver? No. But they're for real. After penalties, 2-2, 2-3. But we'll talk about this. Full-time stats, 11 shots to 22, 3 shots on goal to 7, 41% possession to 59% possession, 348 pass to 501, 76% pass accuracy to 86% pass accuracy, 11 fouls to 10, 0 offside to 0, 3 yellow cards to 1, 0 red cards to 0, 3 corners to 10. This week has been hell. Simple. In general. But the Leafs, or the TFC. Yeah, the Leafs are horrible right now. They're doing it again. With that being said, TFC, when they went to penalties, did anybody think they actually had a chance of winning? No? That's what I thought. Nobody thought they had a chance of winning the shootout because they don't win shootouts. So they've won 2 that barely mattered. Right? The Can Champ 2020 in 2022, that trophy didn't matter. Okay, they won the Leagues Cup shootout against Red Bull. That didn't matter. When they played a Can Champ shootout, the last time they played a Can Champ game, they lost to Vancouver. But at least that's respectable. They're in the CONCACAF final. Montreal are worse than us, and we lose in the shootout to them. And frankly, Toronto wanted this so bad, or at least that's what they said. This matters a lot. This means everything. Bullshit it did. Bullshit. It did not mean a thing to you. Because if it did, you would stuff the ball down their throat. You would score as many goals as you need to throw these guys out of the club. You score 1 goal, not really sit back for the rest of the first half. You have a chance, but it's even. Then the whole second half, 70 minutes, up to the 70th minute, you sit back. You let Montreal take the ball forward. Barely any chances, and you let them take the ball forward. And for some reason, they don't score till 70 minutes. And then they do. And you're tied. Then Tyrese Spicer saves your ass. And then freaking what? 14 minutes later, you proceed to allow another goal? Huh? 2-2. And then once you get that goal, at least you score 1 in 4 minutes. I'm like, they might score another. No. Tyrese Spicer, Theo Corbianu, I thought they had good matches until they missed their penalties. And Corbianu had to slip on his ass. Corbianu would have been man of the match had Toronto won. Assist, goal. He had a really good match. I hate it ended the way it did for him because it did. Simple. And this game shows everything wrong with Toronto. It does. This team isn't ready. You gotta admit, this team's not ready for nothing. Fraser's not good enough as a coach. Hernandez is a horrible GM. Pelly doesn't know what the hell he's doing. I haven't heard the name of Marco in months. They don't do nothing in the freaking window except a couple of loan deals. Dominguez, okay. Insigne didn't look great. Bernadeschi, not there. They didn't use him. They thought they could get away with that. They almost did, but they didn't. Ola Brynhildsen, I'm out on him. I'm out on him. What was that? Honestly, Barrow was better. Frankly, he was. Ola Brynhildsen came in and did nothing. Tyrese Spicer would be better at striker. And then you have this team that just can't figure it out. Coelho finally plays. Great. I don't know what Robin Fraser has against him. He's one of the best midfielders in this league, but it doesn't matter because he plays for Toronto FC. Which is a good thing. I guess we get to keep him longer. But I guess for that sake, that's the positive part. But he doesn't want to play him. Oso dislocates his shoulder. I hate to see that. But Coelho needs to be played more. And for some reason, Robin Fraser don't want to play him. I don't know what it is. With that being said, Montreal, they did their job. They kept pushing at it. Because turns out they actually wanted it more. We lied. We lied through our damn teeth. Like for some reason we always do. Robin Fraser every week says, oh, this team will figure it out. It just wasn't our game. It just didn't go our way. Whatever. Platitudes. This man doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Turns out that year with Colorado, they finished top of the West. Fluke. Even with the little backing he had, he still got more backing here than he ever did by Stan Kroenke. And we still suck. What are we supposed to do? Well, this team will never change unless they call the Pirate, or Bobby Smirniotis, I guess. But that's about it. Right? That's the only two ways this team changes for better. Because I don't think anybody has the want. And I understand if Bobby doesn't have the want because he's coaching the best team in the CPL. Nobody has the want to coach this team, to tell them, you are going to lose over my dead body, especially tonight. We don't allow losing in this room, but especially tonight. No, you shouldn't allow a loss tonight. This is Montreal in the Can-Champ. You are getting outshone by Vancouver. Red-headed stepchild. And you can't nut up while they're playing Miami and say, hey, we need to be back in CONCACAF next year. We need to go after the trophy we deserve to win that we should have won freaking 7 years ago. We're way too off the pace. And maybe we're not ready. But at least we gotta get in there. And if we do, we have time to get ready. But we gotta get there. And we handled Vancouver pretty well earlier this year. We can do it. Wake up. And they don't. None of them want it. The coaches don't want it. The front office don't want it. These players don't want it. They're afraid to win. They don't hate to lose. And if you wear this damn crest, you should hate to lose. I don't care who you are. I don't care how bad we look on paper. If you wear this crest, you should be afraid to lose. We're too used to it, aren't we? We're too afraid. We're afraid to win. We don't want to win. For some reason, this crest means nothing no more. There's a reason there's a star here. Because there were players who were afraid to lose. A coach who at least knew those players wouldn't make him look like an idiot. Because he looks like one now. But when he has players to not make him look like one, he gets stars. Look at LA Galaxy last year. But the problem with Vanny is he had the team to do the job. He wasn't that good. The grass looks greener on the other side, but let's be real. Look at LA Galaxy. That's what happens when he doesn't have Seba Javinko or Alejandro Pozuelo or Ricky Puig. When he doesn't have players like that, that's what happens. And he has to have players around them to do more than just go to the playoffs. He's only done it twice with LA. He won a cup. The other season he got knocked out by LAFC. So, neither here nor there. Right? This team has lost its way. Simple. Dead on, simple. This team has lost its way. And that's the problem. This club has lost its way. And nobody who hates to lose, nobody who doesn't hate to lose is not good enough for this team. Robin Fraser's fine with losing as long as he has a job. These players are fine with losing as long as they get paid. The front office is fine with losing as long as the fans are coming to the stadium. But look at the stadium. Nobody was there. For a 401 derby in the Canadian Championship. Nobody was there. Nobody's believing the hogwash anymore. Everybody sees what this club is. how far they have lost their way. And you could say, but oh, they sucked before, Vanny. They tried to buy their way out of problems before. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. And you could say, maybe this is just a return to the way they used to be. Yeah, there's a possibility of that. But we want more. You don't tease people with the best they've ever seen and proceed to go back to what you used to be. That's the problem. That's the problem. You don't touch the mountaintop and then go back down to the valley. You can't do that. This ain't a Marvin Gaye song. You can't do that. You can't tease people with victory and conquest and then proceed to be a pensioner again with no clothes, living in a box. You can't do that. That's impossible. Nobody is going to sit there, be like, I just ate Benihana for the 500th time this week. 3 weeks later, they're eating banana peels. You can't do that. They're eating shit on a sandwich. You can't do that. You can't. And we're sitting here losing our way because everything, right? Call the pirate. That's it. Simple. You want to win? It's a 3-letter phrase. 3-word phrase. It's a 3-word phrase. These guys have to hate to lose. They got to be afraid to lose. They have to see that losing means something. And that means nobody gives a fuck. That's what it means. Point blank, period. We're wasting an opportunity that wasn't just when Messi walked into this godforsaken league. No, this team is losing an opportunity they've had for almost a decade. What that means is, the time they've won, they climbed a mountain just to fall back to the bottom. I'm surprised they didn't break a leg. You can't tease your fans. You can't tease the fans and then say, oh, we're going back to the days of Danny Coovermans. No! No. No, you can't. You can't. Because that is malpractice. And then Messi walks into this God-forsaken league and acts like a fraud. I'm not going to leave that out. And eyes don't look at us. Only when we play him, right? And we sit here and twiddle our thumbs and sit in our box with a freaking white beard longer than Gandalf, and we're a waste of space. This, how the mighty have fallen. How the mighty have fallen. And it is just what has happened. There are so many spots where the mighty have fallen, but this team's not afraid to lose. They're not afraid to piss off every fan. People are already talking about dropping season tickets, which I get because, yeah, there's a recession. Those things cost a lot of money. You're not giving them a reason to keep those tickets. Apple TV, this team's behind a paywall. And who wants to pay money to watch this shit? Oh, by the way, the rest of their games are on One Soccer. So again, who wants to pay to watch this shit? I understand it. This team is not afraid to lose, and the problem with that is people don't care anymore because they don't get the games weekly on TSN for, well, a cable fee or, I don't know, antenna, maybe free. But I'll tell you this, sometimes they do. But why would you want to watch this team or even pay attention to the fact, hey, they're on TSN this week? Who gives a shit when they're this bad? Exactly. They deserve better. This team deserves better because they should. The fans, not even the team, the fans deserve better. The fans deserve a winner. The fans deserve trophies. And these players don't give a rat's bloody ass about any of that as long as they're getting paid. Lorenzo, how about you take your ass to Saudi, but you won't leave because you'd rather sit on your ass, but it doesn't matter, you're still playing. We're so desperate, your dumb ass is still playing. For the main team, no less. We can't win for losing, can we? Wow. You're a joke. This front office is a joke. The coaches are a joke. The fans are the people I feel sorry for. Because they deserve better. They deserve a winner. And these players don't give a shit. These coaches don't give a shit. This front office doesn't give a shit. And the MLS ecosystem doesn't give a shit because they're not winning. Because Messi's the fun thing to glaze. Well, what happened here? What happened to him? He lost! The one time I want his ass to win. Well, that's the heel turn cemented. Nobody could stand you anymore. Deservedly so. But they'll watch because it's ratings. Because you're a world champion. You're the GOAT. Might as well watch them. This team's ass. With that being said, there you go. I'll leave it there. Robin Fraser, get out! Go. Same to you, Jason. Same to you, Keith Pelly. Same to you, Marco. Same to you, Insigne. Same to you. Honestly, Brynhildsen, get out too. Corbianu, you're fine. Spicer, you're fine. Coelho, God, I love you. You're an amazing player. Oso, you know what? You get out too. Sorry you freaking dislocated your shoulder, but you've been washed anyway. Get out! There's got to be a lot of changes. And God knows they won't do them. Enjoy wasting a World Cup being the bottom of the league and not even have a presence in CONCACAF. How the mighty have fallen. Congratulations, Montreal. You know what? You deserve this. You tried. You wanted it more. Go on. Go to hell, Montreal, but go on. I hope Forge kicks your ass, though. With that being said, or Halifax, either way, but Forge will. With that being said, I'll see you later. If you like this stream or video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share it with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow. 2 o'clock Central. Chelsea. Djurgården versus Chelsea. And then I'll be live at 6 o'clock. We'll just do a double. Leafs at Sens, live, into Tigres Cruz Azul, live, and then we will review both games with a double review. And then Friday, I'll see you for the St. Louis Blues versus the Winnipeg Jets. So, there you go. Saturday, I may be here for TFC and the Leafs. I'm not sure, but I know I'll be here for TFC. Wow. Sunday, we'll see what happens. We'll see what things look like. I'll make Saturday, Sunday streams after the fact. After Thursday night. With that being said, I'll see you later. I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace. Man, I'm depressed. Damn. Peace.